Okay, so Matt, I appreciate you coming on, and I would love to just learn a bit more about your businesses, Dandelion Salon and
the C.O.M.B Foundation.
the C.O.M.B Foundation. So both were nominated for Best in B as well. So
Correct.
that's where I recognize the names from. But which one would you like to start talking about?
Well, I guess we'll talk about the salon more so.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of talk about the nonprofit. So the salon, my wife, she's been working for her dad for 10 plus years at Cuts for Kids, and she kind of wanted to break off and do her own thing. And so we opened up Dandelion Salon 2 years ago, 3 weeks after we got married. So it was kind of a crazy time, but we really enjoyed it. So we got married, opened up the salon, and it's been well. She's had established clientele, and so we just now moved over to South Main Street in the Rose District, or south from the Rose District, and it's a great location. We love being there. So we primarily focus on children. That's what she does. I, of course, do barbering and focus on dads. And then we've got some other girls in there that do mom's hair. She specializes in kids with special needs. So that's important for the community and for the community to know. That can be a difficult task a lot of times, but she's great at what she does. So yeah, we love being in the area. We love Broken Arrow. We love the community that supports us. We love supporting them, and so that's kind of what led us to do the nonprofit, the C.O.M.B Foundation. Stands for the Coalition of Mobile Barbers. So I'm a veteran myself, so I've got a soft spot for veterans. So what the C.O.M.B Foundation does is we provide haircuts and other services to veterans, first responders. We go to different children's events. We can go to homes, hospitals, wherever that we're needed. So that's kind of how we give back to the community that supports us.
That's so cool. I mean, there's so much giving in everything that you just talked about, and those are, man. I think I want to pull back a little bit and talk about. So I've seen some on social media. This would probably be the only place I ever thought about it, was a gentleman who gave haircuts to kids with special needs. And it's such a difficult thing, especially with the stimulus of the sound and of the blade and of all of that. I would love to learn a little bit about what drives you to get involved in that niche.
I think that whenever Chastity first started, then, her dad's been doing it for years. And so Will Churchwell, Mr. Will is who that is. And so, he's been doing kids forever, and people just started bringing their kids because they're like, we don't know where to go. And he's like, I will cut anybody's hair. It doesn't matter. Everybody's deserving of a good haircut. And so she kind of fell into that with him. And so he taught her how to do that, and just the patience it takes and the understanding. And she just has clients that they've been coming to for 10 years, and so it's I personally have a hard time doing it. So it definitely takes a special person to do that and some understanding. But she just, I don't know. It's just who she is as a person. It's not for everybody. And so, one client led to 5 clients, led to 10, led to 20, 50 plus clients probably with special needs that she's done and that she continues to do. And so she's used to it, We're used to it as a salon. People, will have, if she has someone that's on the spectrum that's, having a difficult time receiving a haircut, then I'll have clients who are trying to relax and get a shave, but they understand that's what they're going into. And that kind of brings a little bit of, it helps the community understand more of that community as well. And so at our salon, we're not afraid to, help people with special needs. We're not afraid to talk about, our religious views. We're not afraid to talk about the community, where it's going, what our thoughts are. And so we have our own little community that we're building inside of our salon that's hopefully spreading into BA in a positive way.
I'd love to get into that a little bit more, in kind of your thoughts behind that community, and then kind of what you're trying to spread out of there, maybe what you're seeing, going on in the community, and kind of the impact you're trying to have there. Because, I mean, that's super cool to be able to form any sort of community. It's so needed.
Yeah. Well, it's, so history of barbering goes way back, and so pre-Prohibition era, barbers, they were considered higher members of society. They helped surgeons and dentists with their work. So in a barber pole, the pole, what it represents is the bowls on the top and bottom. That represents a leech bowl and bloodletting bowl. The red and white original stripes was, the white would represent bandages and the red would be the blood. Now later they added the blue stripe for veins. And so Prohibition happens. barbers kind of fell off. People couldn't afford haircuts. Great Depression happened, same thing, and so the industry kind of declined. But everybody would always still go to the barbershops. They would trust them. So in many ways, we're also, unlicensed therapists, because I don't know why people tell us their problems, but they do. And so having some good values and morals to go along with who we have in our chair, that's the way for me personally. I do ministry in my chair. I can talk with anything and everything. So I like to stay up with current events. That's why I like to follow Best of BA, so we can talk about, the different businesses that are thriving and what's happening, what's growing. And, so building the community within the community is having a place where, we have all walks. Everybody needs a haircut. Not everybody eats sandwiches. Not everybody, are meat eaters. So it's like, and not everybody likes to have a drink. So, having everybody come and get a haircut. I mean, we have mechanics, we have attorneys, we have special needs folks, we have first responders. And so it's nice to have a community where we can interact and hear different cultures and how people are, and so we can be a little bit more absorbent and aware of what's happening in the community, and still like, oh, I've heard that this is going on from this group or that group or from this culture, that culture. And so I'm not going to say gossip, but a place that just has a flow of information. Like that's just how barber shops are. It's, it's a place where you can come and receive information and hold information or whatever, because that's what they used to do back in the day, was they'd come and have meetings at barber shops in like a back room, so.
I'm actually kind of, that's fascinating. I didn't even know, because I've seen the barbershop poll, and I had no clue. I had no clue how rich the history was there. I mean, I guess I always was just like, oh, it's just a haircut. It's not just a haircut.
Yeah, it's making a comeback for sure. I think that with the way social media is nowadays, it's hard this is just my opinion, it's hard for people to get the attention of other people because everybody's so glued to their phones, and so people are really investing in themselves again. So like people are out there paying, $100, $150 a haircut. We don't do that. We never will. But I think that people care about how they look, and having a good haircut, that changes the way that you look at yourself. That changes the way that you feel about yourself. It helps with battling even mental instabilities, and so if you look better, you feel better. If you feel better, it helps kind of other issues that, may not be seen. So
yeah, I mean, that's so cool. I mean, there's a ministry called Tulsa Nightlife.
Mm-hmm.
They do haircuts there for the homeless, and you just see people's faces light up when they have a fresh haircut, and just you feel like a new person.
Yeah, give them their dignity, know, and that's super important. That's with anybody, even kids that are struggling with, the image at school, because that's a new thing now. And so there are so many haircuts that kids are doing now. There are a lot of trends, and some barbers are afraid to do it. We like to stay educated within our salon, so we do continuous education all the time. We stay up with the latest trends. So like with the modern mullets and the low taper fringes and all this other stuff, it's fun to learn, and it's, us being parents ourselves and focusing on kids, it's really nice to kind of see what the age groups are, just to kind of, so we understand more about our own kids. And, even with parenting in that salon, having so many children come through of different age groups, it helps other parents that are there kind of see and either get confirmation or whatever they need to for our younger generation.
Yeah, it is so interesting how the styles just change. And even like, I mean, I'm 25, but I'm looking at some of my high school students at church, and I'm like, they all got the shorter cut with the little poof out.
Yeah,
kind of
look like alpacas.
Yeah, a little bit of a poof going on, and it's just what's in. And when I was in middle school, everybody had the Justin Bieber haircut, or the super long and pretty ugly brushed over. And I mean, it's interesting. It's just there's a lot that's told through hairstyle. I would never say that I had a trendy hairstyle, though. Yeah. I think my mom tried to give me a cut like that one time, because I got buzz cuts all the way up till high school. I think she tried to cut my long hair once, and it was pretty much a bowl cut. It was rough.
Well, that's man, that's we really enjoy what we do. We love being part of the community. The nonprofit stuff, I'll talk a little bit on that.
Yeah, let's do
We were sponsored on we were featured on ESPN for the World Axe and Knife Throwing thing. I didn't know they had a world champion like axe and knife throwing. So we were there at the Wee Street Ice Arena, cutting hair there. We've done hair cutting at fire stations, police stations. We've been on to David L. Moss, cut hair there. A lot of back to school events, and church events, the back to school ones. So we really love being part of that. And blessing people with haircuts when they're needed, because again, like, nobody wants to go to school with like a shaved head or long hair, and so that's another way that we just care about our younger generation, is giving free haircuts before they go back to school so they can look and feel their best. And then with the first responders, I haven't been halfway through a haircut at a fire station yet, and they get called out. But I cannot wait until that happens. So we go to police stations, fire stations. We give haircuts to them. That's the way we show appreciation, and that's how we want to back the blue and the red, and like, hey guys, thanks for protecting us. The free haircuts on us, and I'd rather do it. And a lot of the shift leaders, they're 100% like supportive of that. So if we can go at the fire station or the police station and give them a haircut while they're in shift, they're doing 24 hours on. The last thing they want to do is, when they get off shift, is go get a haircut if it's required of them. Spend time with your family, spend time with your kids. I'll come to the fire station. I'll come to the police station. Veterans homes and hospitals, a lot of them can't get out. I've been to healthcare facilities where they can't leave, and so, but they still want a haircut, and they're sitting there with long hair, and that's difficult for some people to go in and see and do. And for me, being a veteran myself, I did 3 tours in Iraq, 2 in Afghanistan.
Oh, thank you.
And so I understand what it's like to kind of feel immobile a little bit, and it's difficult sometimes. And so people that suffer from PTSD or have anxiety or depression, they can't leave the home, I'd be happy to come to your home and talk to you about some things, fellowship with you. I can relate to a lot of things that people have been through, and so that's something that's a passion of mine, as much as cutting hair at the salon. So the salon helps fund that as well. So like, it kind of goes hand in hand.
That's what I was going to kind of segue into, is how can the community in Broken Arrow best support what you're doing, either at the salon or at the nonprofit?
Thanks for asking that. So Chastity has a huge clientele. We can always take more. We love supporting the littles and making sure they look and feel their best. She's great at what she does. I'm an award-winning barber myself. I would love to take on more clients and just support them. The more clients we have at our salon, the more that we can fund the nonprofit. Of course, we've applied for grants and stuff for the nonprofit too. We're in year 2, and we want to be more involved with events. So any kind of events that Broken Arrow has, we'd love to be invited to it, whether it's just to provide some transparency and awareness to what we do as a nonprofit, or just to be there and set up and give some haircuts. We also offer our salon out for people before their wedding. If they want to come there and have their whole wedding party there, whether it's the groom's or the bride party, then we offer that as well. So it's my wife and I are there Monday through Wednesday, from 10 to 6, and we have someone there that's there 7 days a week as well. And so that Thursday through Sunday, it's a lot of it's appointment only, but we have availability to where people can use our shop if they want to. Even if they want to host Bible studies, if they want to have something to do, we open our doors for anybody and everybody that need a space to do something in. And we just want to be able to give as much as we can to the community. So to answer your question, just awareness, follow us on social media. If you're in need of a haircut, come book with us. We'd love to have you for the nonprofit. Invite us to your events. We want to know what's going on. That's
so cool. Yeah, I mean, this might be a God thing too. Just yesterday, I had a woman on from BA Neighbors who's running that nonprofit. Just this morning at a networking group, I met a woman who's heading up a lot of stuff for the Demand Project, and then now with this nonprofit. So that's a big thing that I really want to think about this year is, as Best in BA is growing, whether that is monetarily or if it's just visibility, how can I help support some nonprofits, and how can I give? I think sometimes it's just, how can I, be the mediator to give the community an opportunity to even know what nonprofits are out there. So we'll definitely be talking after this about some ways that we can get your name out there more, because I mean, ultimately, like, the goal with all of this is truly community. If someone's business does better and grows a bit, like, that's amazing, you know, and that's also a goal of it. But I think the people who are the cornerstones of Broken Arrow or of any good community are those who do give back to the community, right?
Yeah.
And like, it's just, I mean, it's so cool to see, and I don't know, that's a fresh thought, but it just kind of popped in my head there.
Yeah. Our currency is definitely time. That's how we give back. We don't financially. We can give a little. We want to offer scholarships. I would love to have a transition for veterans or for military members. I would love to start a new program. You know, boots to barbering, and just, it's hard to transition out of the military, and so going to barber school, going to barber college, and having a placement afterward, and having a way to help the community that you know well. So it's like, yeah, I'm out of the military now, but I'm able to serve other veterans and talk to them, hear their stories.
That's really cool.
That's a really cool transition thing. And, you know, like I said, barbering and hair, that industry is coming back with a lot of new trends. There's a lot of stability in it during COVID. I mean, it was still running strong, you know. So yeah, there's a lot that I want to do. I have a lot of ambitions and a lot of goals. I'm taking it a day at a time.
Yeah.
But anybody that's willing to help and that has some guidance and mentorship, I'm all ears. I'm a sponge. So
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, and we'll definitely link all your stuff and share some stuff about the foundation, about the salon. But I mean, there's just so many amazing people in Broken Arrow who are either business owners, nonprofit, coordinators, or whatever. And there's so much need, and that is the most fulfilling thing, and that's what I've loved with what I've done with this so far, is to hear from a business owner, hey, we've had more people walk in the door because, you know, we were spotlighted. I'm like, that's all the payment I need.
Yeah,
I mean, unfortunately, we do have to make a little cash to live in this world. But you know, it's like, if I'm able to provide that to someone who wouldn't be able to afford that marketing otherwise, like, phenomenal. Like,
correct.
I'm fired up by that. Like, far more than making money, far more than, and that's a blessing to be able to say. So.
Yeah, and you're doing a great job. I appreciate it. BA appreciates you, I'm sure. You've done a great job supporting the small businesses. And Broken Arrow, they have so many, like, great small businesses. It's so fantastic. So, yeah.
I'd love to hear a little bit about what it's like having the shop by the Rose District, because the Rose District was one of the spots that really stood out to my wife and I before we moved down here.
Same. So the Rose District, it can be a bit pricey as far as rentals go and all that. I think that the Rose District was definitely it's been filled appropriately. You know, the businesses that go in there, they're very they coexist well. They complement each other well. And so there's a lot of salons over there. And so it's just a good place to go and breathe better, you know, look good, feel good. And so south of the Rose District, there's a lot of developments happening. So within our plaza, there's a few businesses that just opened, all within weeks of each other. The first one was Lake Dog. It's a pet store. I'm gonna do a shout out for them.
Yeah.
And they're a fantastic business. We love them so much. So they have a lot of everything you need for your pets. They've got. And then a week later, Rose's Wings opened up. So now we've got stuff for animals. Now we've got stuff for our stomachs. But now we got to cover our bodies, right? So we have the salon, and then. You know, I think that being between the Rose District and all the senior community centers down there, we're right where we need to be in terms of supporting, like, all of the cool, like, local stuff. My daughter, she goes to Summit, and so she's right down the road too. And so, and then the senior centers, and I think that they're moving. City Hall down on South Main. So a lot of big development's going to be happening in that area. And so we picked that location because it's growing. There's a lot of growth, I think, that's going to happen that we don't even know about yet. In terms of, I think there's going to be more housing availability over there soon too. And so knowing all that, I want to get in whenever the growth is really starting to take off. And so that's why I picked that location, and we'll be there for as long as we need to be.
Yeah, I mean, and it's so cool how they'll shut down for events and stuff like that. And I think it'll just continue to get better and better. And it's a really cool opportunity to get to know the other business owners and stuff too. I mean, like I've, you know, and with all the stuff with Best in BA, I think one of the things is like, hey, you know, who needs to be connected? Like I even just before this, you were connecting with my previous guest, and that's so cool to see. And but it's like I heard from a couple people in the Rose District who are maybe kind of out to the offskirts where it's like, yeah, we don't really talk much with these other businesses, and that's one of the things I'm like, that's where the community needs to come into play. Is like. Sure. We're all here to win together. Like just because there's another similar business doesn't mean that they're going to pull business. Well, if that area is booming, you're all crushing it. Yeah. So I'm excited to see that growth.
I think that the all of Main Street, they're really trying to make it walkable from the south of Main to North Main, and it's going to be a great area as it expands and as it grows. I'm so excited to be in the middle of it all. We're very fortunate to be there. And I know with our parking lot being one of the bigger parking lots, then we're always set up. We have events that goes on whenever the other special events going on. There's supposed to be a big parking lot concert, I believe, in April. There's a lot of stuff that happens in that one little parking lot. So it's a good spot to be.
That's super cool. Did you grow up in the area?
No, so I was born in Fort Benning, Georgia. Grew up in Missouri. My dad got stationed and got out of the military there. And then we moved to Alabama my 6th grade year because my mom's family's from Alabama. So I grew up a kid on the mountain, just as hillbilly as they come, you know, and joined the military at a young age. I joined when I was 18. Served in the Army for 12 years, done a lot while I was in the military. And whenever I got out, I retired out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Started a business. We were operating in Nashville. Then they got an opportunity to come here to work at the Google plant in Pryor. We did underground utility work, and then we got a contract in Atlanta. So I was here working for 3 or 4 months, fell in love with the Tulsa area, went to Atlanta, kept thinking about Tulsa, you know, and I was there for a year, and I decided to just move back to Tulsa. Fell in love, did some project management stuff here, some freelance work, some construction management, and being retired Army, I was like, I don't know, you know, I was wanting to do a 9 to 5, but that quickly turned into a 5 to 9. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm working too much, you know, and so I decided to just settle down, and I was going to go to flight school because I wanted to do something with my time. I was bored and I couldn't sit still. I never can. So being a business owner, that's kind of what you do. You just keep going. And so I met my wife. She inspired me to go to barbering school, and I was like, well, I guess so. I've always done art my whole life, you know, and so being an artist, I've always been detail focused. Even looking for roadside bombs in Iraq, you know, it's one of those things where like your details are so important. And so went to barbering school, became a barber, won some awards, loved barbering, loved the clients. It's a way for me to do ministry. And so it all just made sense. And since I've been here since 2018, moved out to Broken Arrow in 2023. And I've absorbed all of it. I've just ate it up, and it's been incredible. I love Broken Arrow.
That's really cool to hear. I'd be so curious. So you've been all over. You've seen all these places. Yeah. Why Tulsa? What was the pull from Tulsa?
I think that the culture's rich. You know, the music is great. The art is great. The food's fantastic. The people are welcoming. It's just a great community, and it's growing appropriately. We have the infrastructure to support the growth. Atlanta did not. And same thing with Nashville. I mean, they grow so rapidly. I know, like, post-Olympics in Atlanta, there's like 1,200 people moving to Atlanta a day whenever I was there in 2018. Wow. It's insane. Like, in Tulsa, we're growing, but at an appropriate pace.
Feels kind of like a hidden gem almost.
Oh, it 100% is. Like, when I first came here, I thought it was going to be cowboys and tumbleweeds. That was it.
That's what my wife and I thought.
Oh, man, you know?
Yeah, well, our only reference to Oklahoma, probably coming from Minnesota, that we would have ever thought of Oklahoma was she has a friend who lives in Bartlesville. And so we came down just because it was a drivable trip, and we spent a couple days in Tulsa, a couple days in Bartlesville, and we were like, we really like this. We started looking into it a bit more. My wife freezes in Minnesota, so she, you know, who doesn't? We all freeze. But cost of living down here, beautiful. Yep. Community, family values, all of it. It all played in, and we fell in love with. We visited the Rose District. It's like a little Hallmark movie. My wife loved that. I loved it too. Yeah. Good food, and we're like, yeah, this is a cool spot. And then getting down here, meeting business owners, I'm like, they really genuinely care, and it's a big small town. Is kind of how I feel.
I think the centralized location too, it's really beneficial being, you know, you go 4 hours in any direction, you're in another cool city. And I think that even our airport, you know, we're taking on new flights and stuff. So we're able to travel a lot easier from here. But, you know, 4 hours north is Kansas City, 4 hours south, you've got Dallas. And even between there's so many pockets. Oklahoma's a great state that has so much to do with like the wilderness, the cultures that they have here, Oklahoma City. The college towns, all of the state parks. It's just, I love Oklahoma. It's awesome.
Yeah. I've loved it so far. I haven't traveled a whole lot around Oklahoma. I've been to Oklahoma City once, but otherwise I need to get out and see some of the nature, get out and see some of the, waiting a little bit towards the springtime. We got here in the middle of summer basically, so. I would, let's see. I'll cut this part out, but I think I just want to direct people again to like how they can schedule with you guys, and then we can just kind of close it out.
All right, cool.
So, it was awesome having you on. I would just love it if you could plug your socials and how people can get scheduled with you.
Okay. You can find us on our website. It is www.dandelionsalons.com. And then we're also on Facebook, Dandelion Salon. And through that, you can see the link to book with us on our website and through socials. Message us, call us, text us, all that's listed. And then for the C.O.M.B Foundation, we have a website as well, thecombfoundation.org. Also, you can find that on Facebook as well, the C.O.M.B Foundation. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for all that you do for the community, for veterans, for children with special needs.
That's the easy part, man.
Yeah, well, that's the business part's the hard part. But yeah, thank you for all you do.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.